Coming up on the Geno Auriemma Show.
The game that I signed up coaching and where the game is and going, I'm glad I'm on the backside of all this.
I say, would you get into it now?
I would not. Nope. I don't want to deal with it.
Plus, Coach Auriemma shares one of his biggest fears as a coach. And
now you attack her. Get her. Get her, Mo. Good, Mo.
We're here to give you energy. We're here to motivate you. We're here to drive you.
Good. Go. 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 Challenge. Good. Good.
But you got to want to be driven.
that and much more on the Geno Show. Welcome to the Geno Auriemma Show. I'm here with Coach Auriemma. When we first did these interviews at the beginning of the season, you mentioned your team is a mystery. Have you figured them out yet?
Well, I mean, if you figure out mysteries too soon or too early, then it's not really a good mystery. It's not really a good book, you know. But show you who they are early on, and then they can change, they can grow, they can, you know, evolve into something different. But I would say that at its core, this team has not changed much since November.
So who are they? What are they?
Right now, I think it varies. I think it varies. Some days we're one thing, some days we're a different thing, and that may be the new norm. That may be the new normal in the world of college athletics.
Would that be an adjustment for you to see if this is the new normal?
Would it be an adjustment? Oh yeah, because I think it would be an adjustment for any coach. A coach wants a certain response. They want a certain picture to look at every day. They don't want to see something different every day. I don't want to come in Monday and go, oh, and then Tuesday, what happened to Monday? And then Thursday, hey, remember what we had Tuesday? The coaches don't want that. So I think it would be an adjustment for everybody. And what we have is we don't have a dominant personality. You know, we don't have any $100 bills. We got a bunch of 20s. So we got to do it. We got to make with what we got.
You've discussed Morgan Tuck as a leader of this team.
Yeah.
Is she still fulfilling that same role?
Yeah, she's trying to. She's trying to. And I think she's done a really good job of being consistent. For the most part, I would say Morgan's been as consistent, if not more, than anybody else that we have on the team. And Kay, you know, since you know, early December, has been pretty much the same. I think Stewie consistency, maybe, but I think she and I and everyone else need her to be more, and up to this point she's been enough, but I don't know that she's been more, you know, and everybody else has kind of been, you know, kosi kosa.
Geno Auriemma has joined the 900-win club, and he's gotten there faster than anyone has ever done before.
900 wins.
Yeah.
900 career wins.
Yeah.
What have you been reflecting on lately, now that you've reached that win milestone?
I do know that moments like this make me think back to how the job that I got at Connecticut, or the way I coached when I was in high school, at UVA, here, and the way things are today are like adding on your fingers and having a smartphone. That is basically the difference between the job I used to have and what I used to do and what the job is today.
Yeah.
And not all of it good and not all of it bad, but just the job that I signed up for when I got into coaching and what it is today, it is, as I said, it's from here to there, and you can't recognize it if you look back at it. The game that I signed up coaching, and where the game is and going, I'm glad I'm on the backside of all this. If I was just getting into it, I don't know that I'd want any part of it.
I'll say, would you get into it now? I mean, you've been coaching at the University of Connecticut
No.
30 years ago.
No,
But
I
you
would
would
not.
not become a coach today.
I would not. Nope. I don't want to deal with it.
Year in and year out, the objective for the UConn women's program is to win a national championship. But for the coaching staff, their goals run deeper. Their focus is getting the absolute best out of their players, something Coach Auriemma discusses in this edition of Geno On.
That's probably the biggest fear, I believe, that I have as a coach. And that's one of the things that drives you beyond the all the championships that we have, is that you want every player during their 4 years to reach whatever level they're capable of reaching. As you get into coaching, as you coach longer, you start to realize you can't impact every person that comes into your program.
Every one of you guys lets that guy run right by you when it's a box out. And you come up here and you give it like a pretend box out. Stay in high school, there's no pretend out here.
Somebody that comes here to play basketball, you've been given an unbelievable opportunity. What you make of that opportunity is completely up to you. But I feel responsible because it's like your own children. When your children grow up and they leave home, you want to feel like you've done as much as you possibly can to prepare them for what's coming next.
Every day you need to be thinking about, what do you want the last one to look like? And you guys got to be the same way. I say this every year, because some years you're going to be seniors and you're going to be looking around and going, yo man, you're screwing up my senior year.
Do you always? I don't think anybody does always. So I think there's been players that, if you look back and you say, man, I wonder what we could have gotten done if, and then fill in the blank. It invariably comes down to how bad do they want it. I told the players the other day, I said, look, the upperclassmen, I said, look, Napoleon said there are no bad soldiers, only bad generals. So if this doesn't get done, it's because you guys weren't really good generals.
How do you think they responded to that?
I don't know, because then I said nobody lost more guys in battle than Napoleon, so I don't know what the hell that means.
When we come back, get a sneak peek at Geno's perch above the new practice facility. Plus,
some coaches are on this line. Everything's great all the time. I love you, you love me. Let's all love everybody. The other line is nothing anybody does is ever good enough. I've been over here. I don't think I've ever been over here.
I think my game, I like to bring a lot of energy. Really, I just want to do whatever it takes to help the team win.
Come on, ball. Good, good, Courtney, good. That's it, guys, let's go.
It was wonderful. Yeah, it really was. I loved it. I'm really happy, and I feel really blessed that he spent so much time with me and my brother. He played basketball in college at Marquette, and then he just decided to start coaching. I'm pretty sure he taught us to read screens the same time that we were learning how to read books. So I feel tremendously blessed to have him in my life. Probably the national championship we won my sophomore year when we went undefeated. That was a great season and definitely a lot of memories that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I mean, I had a couple classes to finish up in high school, so I took those online my senior year, finished it up, and it was great. I loved it. Got to spend a lot of time working on my game and also got to spend some time with my family.
There's the three-pointer from the freshman from Phoenix.
I like to listen to a bunch of different types of music. I like Taylor Swift and Katy Perry and Luke Bryan. Sometimes I'll listen to rap, sometimes I'll listen to country. It just kind of depends what mood I'm in.
Since early October, the UConn women have been using their new state-of-the-art practice facility on a daily basis. But the coaching staff just recently moved into their new offices located on the second floor. Always the gracious host, Geno was kind enough to give us a look.
It's way different than my other office. My other office was a combination of 2 rooms made into one, so it kind of looked a little bit different. This is a little less cluttered, I think, right now. Probably better that we moved, you get rid of stuff. It's a much better setup for all of us. It's going to take some getting used to, obviously.
For more than 20 years, Coach Auriemma and his staff have used Gampel Pavilion as their home office. Located directly across from the court itself, their facilities provided the coaches with easy access to the court for practices as well as games. What it didn't provide, however, was the ideal practice time on a consistent basis. They were sharing it with all the other sports teams at UConn. But now, the Huskies have their own court to practice on whenever they please. When it comes to his new office, Geno tends to downplay its significance.
I don't spend a lot of time here at my desk. I don't. I'm always somewhere doing something, but when I am sitting here, it may be because we're meeting as a staff. We used to meet in my office as a staff because we didn't have any other place to meet. Now we have a nice little meeting room across the hall there, so we'll probably go in there. But if I'm sitting here, it's generally because I'm answering some mail or thinking about what I'm going to do for practice. But generally, I'm not here a lot. I don't know what an office is supposed to look like. I don't know where things are supposed to be. So somebody came in and started hanging stuff up and putting stuff. So I really don't know where anything goes or where it's supposed to go. I have no idea. Marissa's really, really good at this kind of stuff. So she'll come in a lot of times and make some suggestions, but I think it's more, it probably means more to the people that walk in than it does to me that sees it every day. I don't, like some of the stuff, I don't even know where they were. Like I look at them, and I mean, I know where these were, but a lot of these things, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that in a while. I know I have a big old TV there that I didn't used to have. I had a smaller TV, an old TV. That TV was like 10 years old. It was like ancient. Now I got a brand new TV I can watch film on. I can look out here, out the windows and look down on the court. Some days I wish I was up here coaching from up here, but I would pull the shades down too so I couldn't see anything. I wouldn't want to watch. But I think it's an unbelievable building, and we've got so much to work with over here. We've got so many resources over here. But you still miss the other place.
When we come back,
And I remember sitting there the night before we left. It finally just came over me. This is going to be really, really, really hard. And I really got emotional. Really, really, really got emotional.
how some motherly advice helped Coach Auriemma through one of the biggest challenges of his young basketball career.
Ladies and gentlemen, All-American Diana Taurasi.
During his illustrious career, Geno Auriemma has had a long-lasting impact on his players as well as his assistant coaches. But he's also been on the receiving end of some great support. In the latest edition of Geno On, Coach shares some advice from his mother more than 30 years ago that helped shape the man he is today.
We were living in Philadelphia area, and I remember it all being like, yeah, you know, like we're gonna go to Virginia. We're gonna go coach at Virginia, and this is gonna be the greatest thing in the world, you know. And like, this is so cool, you know. We're leaving here, and is it gonna be hard to leave? No, come on, you know, this piece of cake, you know. And so we packed the stuff in like a, you know, one of those little U-Hauls. You know, I got probably more stuff in this office than I had in my apartment back then. And I remember sitting there the night before we left, and it finally like just came over me. This is big. This is going to be really, really, really hard. And I really got emotional. Really, really, really got emotional. And you know, you're leaving all your friends, your family, everything that you know. And I remember my mother saying to me, you know, before we went, work hard and make a lot of friends. And I thought, yeah, that about says it all. And you know what? I did. I worked really, really hard, and I made a lot of friends. And the harder I worked, and the more we won, the less friends. So I had a lot more when I was an assistant in Virginia than I do today.
Any fan of the UConn women's basketball program knows the high expectations Geno Auriemma sets for his team, but the demands Geno puts on himself and his coaching staff are even higher.
If we want more for you than you want for yourself, then it's not going to work.
Get in the stance. Where's the ball? Off your man. Off your man.
If we're more excited about all this than you are, it's not going to work.
Let's go. Open your mouth. Go get it. Boy, let's go. Open your mouth.
So, us as a coaching staff, we're here to give you energy.
Now you attack her. Get her. Get her, Mo. Good, Mo.
We're here to motivate.
Run, Kia. Hands up, Kia. Hands up and rebound. Atta girl. Hands up and rebound. Natalie, hands up.
But you got to want to be driven.
Stewie, you can't shoot that shot with two hands. Every time you try to shoot that shot with two hands, you're going to get it blocked. It's got to be like a big old sweeping jump hook.
Like, I laugh because I'll let it filter down, you know, and I'll say to the upperclassmen, hey, you know, if this doesn't get done, it's because you didn't want it to get done. You know, if our freshmen and sophomores don't do what they're expected to do, it's because you didn't make them do it. Either be one of the guys that knows what the hell's going on, or be one of the guys that follows and pays attention. And now I'm saying to the coaches, Shay, Marissa, and CD, hey, if our juniors and seniors don't get this done, it's because you guys didn't do enough with them. So we're constantly coaching a segment. We can't control we can't fix everything. We've got to have our guys that have been there and done that fix some of the things. That, to me, is the fine line that coaches have to be able to walk. Some coaches are on this line. Everything's great all the time. I love you, you love me. Let's all love everybody. And if we get our it's okay. We tried. That's one line. The other line is nothing anybody does is ever good enough. And I've been on this line too. I've been over here. I don't think I've ever been over here, but I've been on this line over here, in this side, where it doesn't matter. No matter what we do, I'm not happy. How many layups are we going to give up, guys? And you look up after a while and you go, man, this isn't any fun. I think it's managing your expectations, understanding what are we capable of doing. So if it's November and December and you're losing your mind, which I have, about what we're not doing, those guys, our coaches, are very good at saying, listen, it's only December. And you know, you won't accept it, but you'll go, yeah, I know, I get it. Because in February, nobody on the coaching staff is going to accept it. But me, if I'm not careful, I'll expect December 10th for us to be absolutely, positively perfect. And those guys will say, Geno, that's not possible.
Why didn't you guys just pass the ball back and forth to each other instead of just running down here? That's right, because you weren't told. That's what this whole drill is about.
Let's say we have everybody back from last year, and they're all upperclassmen. And now it's December 15th or 20th, and we're playing a really big game. We better be playing as well as we're capable of playing, because there's no excuses. But when you're trying to put in a lot of new guys and you lost some key pieces like we did this year, we lost 2 very important players. There was parts of November and December where I was not a happy camper, and I let them know about it.
You got one guy trying to cover for 4 guys. That's gonna be bad every time. Because 1, 2, 3 guys play like that. Let's go.
And some of it was probably not their fault. So I think you've got to be, straddling that line a little bit. That you got to understand where you are. You got to understand where you want to go, but at the same time, you got to acknowledge, hey, we're okay. We're okay.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad.